Okay, it is 9 o'clock on September 12th, 2017. We'll call the Floyd County Board of Supervisors meeting to order. The first item on our agenda is to approve our agenda,
I'll move to approve.
and I'll second that. Been moved and approved to approve our agenda as presented. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Item 2, public comment. Hearing none, seeing none. Item 3, review action regarding approval of August 21st and 22nd, 2017 meeting minutes.
And I'll move to approve both August 21st and 22nd.
Okay, and I'll second that. Been moved and seconded to approve August 21st and 22nd, 2017 meeting minutes. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Item 4, review and action regarding approval of claims, which we have received.
Yes, I've gone through them and I'll move to approve the claims.
Okay, I'll second that. Been moved and seconded to approve the claims as presented. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Jeff? We're at item 5, dangerous dog ordinance. Do we need, well, we'd probably like to have him. Or we
He said
just,
he had three wells to test today, so he was gonna get here, but he said he might be late for this, so I don't know if you want him.
the only
to
thing
do
we're gonna
something
do
else?
here is
Set a hearing.
set a hearing date. Is that correct?
Yeah,
For a public hearing.
So we talked about
but
it
this means
yesterday.
it'll be published as it's written as well then, so if you're okay with the way it's written.
Well, we were able to meet with Jeff yesterday and I didn't hear any issues, I guess, with it. I did get a chance to look it over. Have you read through it too?
Mhm.
So I would go ahead and just make a motion to set the hearing date. Let's see what we
Do
got.
we wanna pick a time constraint? Where's
Yeah.
You're here.
Guess what? We're on your agenda item, so is there any other further comments that you want to make
Which one?
on the dog ordinance? Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, I don't think so. I gotta get a hold of Paul's yet, I haven't got a hold of anybody yet, but
Okay.
other than that, it's,
Do you have a date in mind for a hearing date?
well, as soon as we can, we've been working on it for 2 years.
I know you'd like to.
What's our,
Our next, so it just has the 4 and 20 days for publication, and so you could have it as early as the 26th. You just have to
the
get.
26th, that regular meeting?
I'll make a motion then to go ahead and hold the public hearing for the dog ordinance, which is ordinance 2017 listed, and that there's no number on that yet.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's set it for 9 o'clock. Let's do it right away, you know, so
Okay.
we can, that way we're not waiting.
Right. Okay, and I'll second that.
That's the 26th, right?
You said
September.
What, 9 or
26th.
9:15, you mean, is that what?
Well, a lot of times when we're doing these hearings, then it seems like, we're waiting, and so I figured, is there not a reason that we couldn't just set it for 9 o'clock? Still say, go through our agendas, and the first agenda topic, but do that one right
You
away.
can, usually there's enough agenda items to fill in until you get there. I can put it lower down on the agenda if that's the issue, but I just put it,
I just know sometimes it seems like we're sitting there waiting, if there isn't that
Good morning.
much going on the agenda, which we never know.
Hi, bud.
I mean, that was the only
Morning,
reason
Pete.
that I was doing it. But yeah, I'm okay too with doing 9:15.
We're setting the hearing date for the dangerous dog ordinance. We're talking of September 26th at 9 o'clock. But you want 9:15?
either
Either
way,
way.
it doesn't,
Either way.
whatever.
Okay.
Do 9:15,
Okay.
September 26th. So I'll make that motion, then the public hearing will be on September 26th at 9:15.
I'll second the motion and apologize for being a little late this morning.
Been moved and seconded to set the hearing for the dangerous dog ordinance September 26th at 9:15. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item 6, review action on bids for demolition and removal of abandoned house located at 1726 Woodland Drive, Charles City, Iowa, formerly known as the Hummel property. Before we do that, I'll let you know that you two, I have an interest in one of those bids, so you two will be making the decision.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Go ahead. All right, well, this is the bid Doug mentioned. This is from Jean Ann Cam at JAK LLC. The law for Floyd County to clean up the above listed property as per required. Providing the county on this project. Thank you for the consideration of the bid. The bid is.
There is no amount, we cleaned it up for the property, for a title to the property.
Oh, I see.
So as I said, I have an interest in this, so you two are going to make this decision. I'm not.
Yes, so it states in the second paragraph, I, Jean M., Jean Ann, am not placing any monetary request for the demolition work. Rather, in exchange for this demolition work, JAK LLC is requesting full title to this above listed property. Thank you for consideration of this bid. This next one?
Yes, that you understood.
This bid is from Downing Excavating LLC, and the bid on the demo of the house is $13,895. Any more?
This one.
The third and last bid is from Cole Excavating. And they propose to do that job and place the bid for $11,800.
So I don't know if you heard, I told Linda that I have an interest in that, so the decision is up to you. We can turn it over to Linda, do whatever you want to do.
I guess my first thought would be, we've got an opportunity, to sell, the property too with this. So I'm not sure, I guess, how this, proceeds, since there's no estimate, there's no price, we do have two bids for the work, but, if there is an opportunity, I guess, to sell the property, I think, that's something that is intriguing to me, because again, we could accomplish two things there, because eventually we're gonna wanna sell it anyway, so.
Right. And, the value is at least $10,000, or $11,000, $11,800, and
The land itself, the assessor has it as 14,000 value for the land itself, so.
ask the county attorney person at the time on it, or?
That sounds good.
Yeah,
I think that's good.
I think that's the next step, I'd take. I know it's a busy day, they're probably not gonna be available.
Pretty lot of cars out there.
They must have a lot of activity going up on the third floor.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Whenever I see that, I look in here to see it.
No, not in here.
Randy's desk.
Hey, Rachel, is either Rachel or Randy available?
Randy is in trial and Rachel's up in court.
Okay.
And let me see what the schedule is. Randy won't be available all day. And, what's today, Tuesday? full docket this morning.
Okay,
Actually, it looks like a full docket all day. We got hearings all day.
okay,
Okay?
all right, thank you.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
So the one thing that we could do is just go ahead and hold on this. You know, there wasn't necessarily a timeline, you know, to go ahead and talk. with
Only
the
that the
county
bid were
attorney
good for 30
For
days.
how long?
Well, they were supposed to be notified tomorrow, by the end of the day today, I think, of their,
For 30 days, yeah.
But they can be informed, you know, that kind of what the next steps are.
Well, that would give us time to consult with the assistant county attorney.
Could
and
you-
further consider the, you know, the ramifications, the
Right.
possibility of selling it to another party. Or, if I may ask, what does Jean Ann propose to do with the property?
It, but it joins ours. And we made, it doesn't adjoin, but it, we made a deal with the next guy that if we are able to do this, he'll sell us a little strip, which lets ours adjoin this one.
I see. Thank you.
would there be an option that you could make a motion to accept that bid contingent on the county attorney's advice
I'm not ready to go that far.
Okay,
To dispose of
Accepting-
property
I think I'd rather
regardless
just
what, yes,
wait.
Yeah,
here.
I
I
just
would.
soon hear from the county attorney
I would
opinion
too.
on before we just table it at this time till
Yeah.
our next meeting.
that's right, there's the issue of setting a hearing for disposition of property as well.
Right.
Okay, so why don't we set, I'll set a motion to go ahead and hold until our next meeting, which is September 26th, to have this discussion again, but in the meantime, try to get the county attorney's review of this and feedback.
Sounds like a good workshop item to me.
That'd be the 25th then, if it's a workshop,
Could be this
To our
Monday
next, to our
Yeah.
next meeting.
to our next meeting.
or the 18th, if we have a meeting.
So
What was
just
your
make
motion
it,
again?
if we put it on the 26th, that's a regular supervisor meeting. If we go ahead and put it out as an agenda item on our workshop for the 25th.
In other
Yeah.
words, you're just tabling the motion until the workshop on the 20th,
Mhm.
which is appropriate. I second that motion.
Okay, then moved and seconded to table this item and put it as an agenda item for our next workshop meeting, along with a review and action on our next regular meeting. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes, it does.
Then, been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. I'm sorry, I abstained. I don't want to vote on that. Item 7, review action regarding abatement of taxes on partial 0727 17800 1726 Woodland Drive, Charles City, otherwise known as the Hummel property, which is the property in question.
So after review yesterday on that, and speaking with our county treasurer, I would maybe recommend that we make a motion that we go ahead and maybe hold, since it didn't sound like there's an urgency.
Table this one also.
Table this one also.
No, your decision is to not pay the taxes.
Not
at
pay the
this time.
taxes, that's
Not
right.
Table it, is that?
And not, that's, okay, so I'll make a motion to go ahead and not pay the taxes at this time then on the Hummel property, which is the parcel 072717800600.
Seconded?
Okay. Been moved and seconded to not pay the taxes at this time and bring it up at our next workshop meeting.
That's fine.
Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye,
Aye.
Aye.
and I'll abstain. Item H, review action regarding disposition of partial 0914-151-00600 in Rockford, Iowa, and this is the one that we talked about yesterday with an offer to buy from Stacy Jones. On a little strip that Wade County owns for some reason. Another one we don't know why.
I think at the time we looked up, it was like $7.
Then we have an offer of $250.
Or one of the options is just to accept the offer and not go through the bidding process.
You still have to have public hearing regarding disposition of the property, but you wouldn't have to accept bids. Or you could accept bids and just see if there's any other interest after you have your public hearing, and then decide if you want to do
Mhm.
bids or accept this
Okay.
offer.
So the motion could be to accept this offer and set a public hearing, or,
Not accept the offer.
okay, set a public hearing for disposition of the property. Okay.
I'll make the motion, go ahead and set the public hearing for discussion on disposition of parcel 091415100600. Let's have it then also on September 26th. And we could make that at,
You could do 9:15 and pick which one.
that's what I wondered, can we go ahead, let's do 9:15 then on September 26th.
Okay,
Seconded.
okay, been moved and seconded to set a hearing regarding disposition of this property partial on September 26th at 9:15. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion carries. Item 9, review action regarding suspension of property taxes per Iowa Code 427.9. You have it in your packet.
So this
These are
is, yeah,
eligible ones.
yeah, these are, actually, this is a little late during this, but I had a new request from Leila Hidrick to suspend, and I looked back and I think I was out of the office and out there for a while, back when we usually would have taken this action to suspend taxes. And so I contacted DHS, and they have provided the people who would be eligible for tax suspension, who have been on in the past. So all of the people on this list here had been on in the past, but only some of them are still eligible. So Leila is a new person, but continuing ones would be McGinn, Schmidt, Vandevetter, and Walker. So if you wanted to make a motion to approve property tax suspensions for the 5 eligible.
This is suspension and not abatement.
Correct. Iowa Code 427.9 allows people who are receiving services that they have an option to suspend their taxes. Those taxes would be due and payable at the disposition of the property, if they sell the property, or if they no longer become eligible, or at their demise, or.
I would move to suspend the taxes for the 5 individuals named.
And I'll second.
Okay, been moved and seconded to suspend the property taxes for the 5 individuals named. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries. Item 10, review action regarding liquor license application for the Columbus Club and the premise update application for derailed, both for licenses at Gilbert Sale Yard.
So this one is for an event that Columbus Club will be having September 23rd at Gilbert Sale Yard. I have their application. I have made a couple attempts to remind Derailed that they need to do a premise update application. I haven't heard back from that. I left a voice message and I also left a text message for him that he needs to get this done. So if you would be willing to do this, this is what Matt has a 1 year, or Derailed has a 1 year license at this property, and they have to go online, fill out a premise update application to give up the license for the days that someone else has asked for the license. And Mr. Kegley with Columbus Club has informed me that he's verbally spoken to Matt, and Matt is okay with this, but Matt just needs to do that step of going online and making that happen. If you would be agreeable to approving the application pending Derailed following through with the premise update application. The timing is of an essence with this one because the event is before your next meeting. I'll keep contacting Matt and see where he's at with it. He's usually fine with giving up the application. I haven't spoken with him on this one, but he's usually okay with giving up the application for these events. Actually, he gave it up for the same event a year ago, so I suspect he's probably okay with getting it.
And I can tell you, I know this for the fall festival of the Catholic Church and school.
Correct.
Well, I'll make a motion to go ahead and approve the liquor license application for the Columbus Club, and it's contingent on Derailed getting their premise update application completed.
Seconded.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the liquor license application for the Columbus Club pending proper paperwork by the Derailed company to give up theirs for the day. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Item 11, review action regarding setting the date and time for the school election canvass.
So by Iowa code, this has to be done on the Friday following the election. And so that's the 15th. If there's outstanding absentee ballots, there has to be time for those to come in by mail. The code says noon. Our mail does get here at 10 o'clock. But then there's time, if there are some that are added that are postmarked by yesterday, that need to be added. The absentee team has to reconvene after the mail comes in and consider those ballots. And so we need some time. So originally I was thinking like 1 o'clock for you to meet, but yesterday I did visit with the emergency management coordinator, and she has sent all of us an invitation
Right,
to
for that webinar?
at 1 o'clock regarding door access, or panic alarm systems. And so in case you.
That's a webinar?
It's a
Yeah.
webinar.
Yeah.
Can it
She
be
did
after
say
that?
that she would be able to access that webinar would be available, that they could access it at any time. But my thoughts were if you wanted to canvass at 2 o'clock, you could get, if you wanted to go to that, you could go to that and still canvass at 2. Be done with the webinar is supposed to be it shouldn't take an hour, but whatever your preference is for that, just couldn't be before noon.
Sounds fine to me. Would you like a 2 o'clock meeting on Friday, the 15th September to canvass the Wilson School Board election? I'll make that a motion.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to set the canvass date for the school election Friday, the 16th at 2 o'clock.
Yes.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 12, review action regarding contract to purchase right away for the 2018 bridge project. Mr. Rolando, front and center.
This is,
Frankie Bridge?
this is Frankie's Bridge up there by Chuck's place. It's all the right of way that we needed to purchase, basically, is from Chuck and his wife Karen. I can show you a brief picture of it that we kind of see what it is. that's coming from the west to the east, and you kind of hit where the new proposal area is. And then there is where the new bridge would be placed across the river, and that's where the old bridge is up here where the old right-of-way used to be. Basically, it amounts to 5.71 acres, and the total price is $22,000. There's and we will also add $150 to update the, basically updating the title documents, the abstract. And
We'll get the old bridge back.
No, that's not part of the right of way at all. No.
That's his still.
That's
Okay.
We've had this discussion.
There is also stuff written in this contract for temporary electric fencing as needed while the old fence is down. We'll pay that as it gets put up, but we don't put that in this, what we're gonna cut now. And then also for permanent fencing later will be put in there too, and he doesn't get paid for that, just like all of our other ones, they don't get paid for it until they put it up, because if they don't put it up, we're not gonna pay them for it. So, and this was done through the appraisal process. It's a little different than our simple little projects we do, where we just go determine area, length to length, and extra width, small amounts here and there. This one, because the price was gonna be above $10,000, and we have to go through a whole different, we hired, Graham Land Acquisition, company to do the appraisals and go through the whole process. So, per the requirement by the state and federal government. So, but it basically is $22,000 for the 5.71 acres, and then there's a temporary easement of 0.92 acres, and then the 150 for the abstract will be added on top of that after, and then the fencing thing will come as it goes, so. We pass through this, nothing, no place for you guys to sign, it's all for me to sign, but I just wanted to get it approved down here so you guys were aware of it.
And you're obviously okay with it?
Yeah.
And that's paid at the rate of 4.20.
That is
Who
paid.
set that rate?
Well, that's the way we do by our other right of way. It's being done by appraisal, it's not done that way. This is being done by, like I said, the appraisal process, which goes and looks at I can't remember how many different parcels that were sold,
Okay.
equivalent to it. And so that doesn't necessarily follow our, when we do that resolution for purchasing right of way,
Okay.
because of the dollar limits that we're required to keep below or above, so.
Does there authorization need to be for you to sign, for them to authorize you?
I'm signing on it because it is by me. I think they just approved me signing the purchase of the right of way. I guess is the way I would probably word it. Because there's not place for Doug to sign there as the chair, so.
All right, I'll make a motion then to go ahead and approve for, our county engineer signing the,
Purchase agreement.
purchase agreement,
Yeah.
right, for the 5.71 acres at $22,000.
Correct.
Second.
Okay, and moved and seconded to approve the county engineer signing the contract to purchase ready for the 2018 bridge project. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Item 13, review county engineer's annual report.
Everybody get a copy. There's that.
Okay.
And this is just, in a nutshell, this is what we have to turn into the Highway Department of Transportation every year by September 15th, which is Friday. Actually submitted it last week. It used to be back in the day where it had to be acted on and the auditor signed and all that, but they changed that in the last several years, so it's just me signing it. Basically what this does is it takes, just like when I present my state budget compared to my county budget, it just shows all the different line items as far as what was spent for each of the, like administration, engineering, construction, bridges, roads, snow, traffic control, road clearing, equipment
Snow and ice
operations.
control, is that a total for the fiscal year?
Yes, that would be July 1st through June 30th. So this report would go through July 1st of last year through June 30th of 17.
$350,000.
Yeah. And then the difference on here is that these also show any reimbursements that we may have got. One would be, which the DOT, that's the difference between county and state budget is, county budget, you spend it, whether I get reimbursed or not, you still have to have that dollar amount in there. State, if you had a dollar amount and you got reimbursed, you would take that reimbursement off, so it doesn't look like you spent as much. That's kind of just the way the numbers work and stuff like that. And then with this report, it also shows all of our obligated balances, which you guys don't have a copy of that. We got $639,000, which are outstanding claims that are yet to be paid that were agreed to. That'd be more like contract rock. Vacation balance is what we pay out as far as that and future accrual wages and other equipment purchases, things like that. So that they were agreed upon, but we have not received it yet, so. And then I guess the biggest thing is it shows my end balance of $4 million. So I've got $4 million sitting there to start my this current year stuff. Like typically we don't start getting, taxes until, well, we've had the luxury of not been until the end of the year here, but see, like in Chickasaw, I've got to, because my balance is a lot lower, I've got to go ask for money right away, or at least when taxes start coming in October. So, and then at the very end, it shows, has a page for our equipment, also has pages for all of our day labor projects, anything that's over a certain dollar amount, and then we also submit on the very last, it's the last page, I think it's 14. Would also show, page 13 shows your local effort. Basically, by code, the county's supposed to provide 75% of what the total possibly could be for the tax base. And we're above that because local option also contributes towards that local effort. Page 14 basically shows all the projects that were completed as of June 30th. If they weren't completed, then we do not put them in there. But it talks about our box culverts for day labor. The Farm Market Road, Dancer Avenue, that was white top last year, that was completed late fall last year. And then the bridge on 150th, which is the one that's west of Rudd. Once those are all complete during that fiscal year, then we report these to the DOT per House File 324. So like the bridge we just finished over
That's what I was wondering, is that one
210,
included?
that's not on here because we weren't done yet by June 30th. In a nutshell, it just basically tells where all the money comes and came and went, and something that's required for me to submit to the Department of Transportation. So
How often do you do this?
once a year, every year. Yeah. If you guys have any crazy questions, if you do, it's good reading material to say okay, and then put it away, but you can always come ask me if you have any questions, what comes and goes.
This is only for review, you don't need.
Right, don't need any action on this for review. I've already submitted it actually last week to make sure it goes through, because sometimes we miss something and then I'll get it, okay, we review it and submit it, and then all of a sudden, it was July 20th, and then I called down and I'm like, oh, you have to update this, well, you're okay, as long as you submitted it the first one by then. And we already got it approved by the DOT, came back last week, so. Any questions on that, I guess? It's kind of good numbers to see where
Yeah, it
everything's
is.
sort of spent,
Yeah.
depending on the flooding and. Biggest stuff, which, I guess that's all on that. You guys don't have anything to go on to just discussion, I guess?
Quick, item 14, discussion with county engineer about secondary road activities.
Well, let's see, a little dry to be blading. We have dry weather, which in long term has helped us on T26 project north of Marble Rock. That is actually moved along pretty good. And it will get
I
paid
went
this
down
year.
there
I hit the ass, it will get paid this year. So those
Are you
those
hearing
big.
otherwise?
Well, people are just saying, oh, no way it's gonna happen, no way it's gonna happen. Those might be the rumors. That's all I'm gonna say, is I'll quell that right now is, we're scheduled, I think, because Cedar Valley's got another project, they got two portable plants, and one, was just transferred to one other place, another one has been in another place, but they obviously have other projects going on, so what they're doing is, they'll be here probably towards the end of this month, I would say during the week of September 25th, and have the plant come in and start setting up, getting all the ducks in a row as far as baskets for the paving, cure, and everything will be. In fact, last week, or this week, they started survey work, putting their survey stakes out that are needed for the paving. As they've been doing this process, we switched the process a little bit to where they're actually moving the black dirt in place on the shoulder, on the forest slopes and all that. Where that was actually gonna be scheduled to be, once the road was done and complete, then go spread the black dirt on. But it worked out that Cole Excavating was able to do that as they went. So that actually resolves the thing after the fact. Because of the permanent seeding, we started seeding, I think we did a mile yesterday of permanent seeding. If we didn't do it the way we just did it, then we'd have to put temporary seeding down until it was done because it sits for so long. So why pay for temporary seeding if you have to do permanent seeding later? So it's working out really good. The road itself is firmed up really good. The dry weather has helped. We did have a lot of extra macadam base that we put in. A lot of that stuff that you said the road was built out of before was nothing but black dirt and spilled like cow manure when they were digging it out and stuff like that. So we added a major cost. I mean, we added a $3.5 million project, but it will be a $4.5 million when we're done. Right now, they're hauling in more modified sub base, the final modified sub base to be up above so that they can trim it. So that's happening right now. One more small core road down by the Boy Scout Camp Road, right down there.
I noticed that when I.
One spot, yeah.
There.
We tried, they
Dirt
tried,
boiled right up through that.
yeah, they
rock.
tried doing a real, like a 4-inch core out and putting this and seeing if they could bridge it, and then that didn't work, so then the rest of the way, that's why it took longer to go the rest of the way. They're going back down and gonna move that top stuff off, core it down more like it
Well,
should
you
have
can tell
done.
that right when you hit it.
Yeah. Yeah. So right now, we're on schedule to keep plugging along with the modified, you know, we'll be visiting with the landowners again. And right now, it's just a glorified gravel road.
Yeah.
And, you know, really haven't talked to many of the landowners. I mean, that's why a lot of the rumors are flying out and this and that. School can utilize it as the side roads are not hard closure, but he thinks it's too rough for the buses. I talked to the Rockford school guy. And I said, well, that's the option you have. Just you have to drive a little slower, or have them pick them up at a side road and things like that.
What have they been doing?
They were going down the road. They were driving on it, but then he just talked to me last week and it was just too rough. And I'm like, well, then don't go 20 miles an hour, go 10 miles an hour. That's what you're gonna have to do, or pick them up at the end. And I know that's it's inconvenience right now. I'll be happy when October's done because it should be paid. But so, but we'll visit with the landlords before the week in advance of paving, so that people know you can park here. The one good thing is there may be some harvest going on, that maybe they can get some of the crops out before we worry about paving it. Maturity right now, I've been running some maturity tests in some of my paving over in Chickasaw County, and you know, they were getting strength in 36 hours. So,
Where are they gonna set up the plant?
in that, if you go where the Rockford Golf Course used to be,
Mm-hmm.
and you go east there around the curve, and there's that sand pit or gravel pit, well, I think it's a sand pit more or less. They're setting it up in there.
They got quite a haul.
They're starting to haul stuff in there right now. We know we've done dust control twice now on both sides of the road. Got to where Cole started doing some other hauling with this other stuff, and so I said, we're done putting dust control. These are haul roads for you, and you can put it on. So Cole has agreed to put dust control down at some spots as they were going, and we get to Cedar Valley doing the actual paving part of it, which I'm assuming they're gonna start from the south end and pull north. They're gonna be running a water truck on their roads, so that the water, you know, they constantly running water trucks during those days, you know. Because as they move north, they're not gonna have to continue further down, so I said, you have an option. You're gonna haul these roads, use a water truck, or put dust control down, and when paving happens, they're gonna use a water truck, so. So no, that's plugging along, you know, and so the intention right now, according to Cedar Valley Corporation, is we'll be paving in October, which I don't know if it would be the 2nd or the 9th. There's probably, if they pull an 8-inch thick, they'll probably pull a half mile a day, it's 6 miles long, you're talking, you know, you do that math, it's 12 days, and there's a day handwork at the north end, so. We'll be into October, but cure time won't happen nearly as fast with it in colder weather, but, you know, it'll still be nice in October too, so,
Right, gotta be.
yeah. Day labor projects, you know, we're doing a lot of culvert repairs. We set a box culvert last week, and that's backfilled that. Pavement markings are all completed. They had to come do a couple of things they missed, but that's basically complete. And have a meeting with, regarding Ethanol Road, and that's still scheduled for February lighting for construction next summer. The Frankie Bridge, which just got the right of way for, that'll be constructed next summer. And gotta start thinking about other projects that are down the road, like T-38 from 7 Mile Corner north to the county line. Start working on design on that stuff. getting that all the ducks in a row, because that's gonna be, usually gotta start a year to 2 years in advance, depending on whatever. That's all I got.
So the DOT is doing all of these, counts, I see all the strips, you
Yeah.
know, and all the roads.
Floyd County is due this year for a full count, all the roads.
You should see 'em
State
all over.
roads, county roads, everything. Where Chickasaw was opposite, it was not a full count, it's just your DOT roads, but they don't do all the gravel roads and all the side roads.
Who does that, DOT?
Yeah. Data processing, there's a whole division on that, they do it every year.
So with that information that they collect, then what, they work with all the counties?
They provide us that information later, what we do with it is more for just knowing the traffic count
Right.
and what, I mean, like, if you have to, there's, I don't even know, you know, we still do our projects as we do, as we do them, so I mean, the information is good unless there's a major change, and hey, you may wanna look at this road, because now it jumped from 100 to 215.
Right.
Well, we know the ethanol plant, and this and that may be affecting some of this traffic, so do you wanna look at, you can recategorize roads, you can look at bridges, you can do the shoulders. Maybe you wanna do a maintenance project that has shoulders because you're higher traffic count.
Well, that's
so.
why I wondered, how we use that data, you know, what kind of action do we take then?
Not a lot of difference
Okay.
than we're normally doing now, I guess.
Okay.
It's very important. Like I said, Chickasaw is a good friend because they go to the ethanol plant east of New Hampton over there. Well, they're going around 190th north of town and back east on Newell. And traffic count went down for a while, but now I looked at it this time and I did a special count on that one because it wasn't a full count over there. And it went up to 230 from 100. And so the people are complaining about dust, and I'm like, I don't have money to pave the roads we have, how are we gonna pave more roads, you know? So it's
Right.
kind of, utilize that somewhat, but justification for doing certain projects maybe.
Yeah, I was just curious, you know, as I'm driving around, I'm seeing them, like I said, all over, so I just wondered, you know, how that impacts us.
There's one in town too, I saw. They do in Charles City too?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know if they do all the city streets or if they do some of them, or I'm not sure. It might be only federal aid roads in cities, but I'm not sure.
We've gotten a couple calls about washboards on County Road, but
Yeah, and you know what, we're gonna get those. I drove some yesterday and I'll be driving some today, and we basically will leave them alone as long as we can until we get some rain. We can get some rain, because right now the only thing tied in is the stuff that's tied into the road. You go cut it, then you just got loose gravel, that's, same thing's gonna happen a day later.
like driving on marbles.
2 days later, you'll be driving tomorrow and it'll turn into washboard again. And so we're losing the battle until we get some moisture, which, one aspect, I like it for the paving project, can finish and we'll be all right. And then it can rain again.
Right.
And we'll get the seeding down too, and that's another good thing, we're in the seeding mode now, that we can get that seeding down, get some moisture, have some of the permanent grass or you know, grass and stuff growing, so. But yeah, you guys may get calls on washboard, and I've driven them too, and I'm like, yeah, it's, especially around the south side, because you're starting
Yeah.
going, I mean, you
Yeah.
just wanna punch a little bit, or you wanna slow down and you're hitting it and it's causing worse. But we do, definitely need some moisture, I think they're talking maybe, maybe Sunday maybe, or something this week.
Okay. Like this
Over the
weekend?
weekend, there was chances.
Yeah.
How about dust control on the detour by Marble Road?
The,
Responded to that. Wanted dust control.
which one? Because there was one that was on, if you're talking, because like, so we dust control both sides. We did it twice on all the routes, the unofficial routes plus the side roads. And then now, with, like I said, with coal coming in and running some side roads, we had a couple calls on a couple spots that they're coming by the place. There was a business over there, I think, on I'd say if you go south of Rockford School and you go back east, as it goes around the curve there, and you go east, they called about it, and what happens is some of these truck drivers don't follow the routes they're supposed to go. But Cole went along and actually updated it and sprayed some other ones where they're coming in on the side roads. As far as the detours itself, some of the calls we've had is, I can't dust control 6 miles on both sides. We do in front of the residences, and we did the intersections. And actually, if you get to those places where it was sprayed, it's actually holding okay. There's a little bit of dust that's over time, it wears off some. But right now, there shouldn't be anything hauling on anything, and if they are, then the contractor's been putting dust control down. There's been 1 or 2 calls where the truck drivers in their own mind want to run this route or that route. But we can go back this way shorter. Well, that's not a designated haul road, so you can't do that because it's not dust control. So we've been fielding some of the calls like that, but then we talked to the contractor and said, if you're gonna go this route, you gotta put dust control. And Cole's been very good about it. So, you know, if you get a call on that, just direct them to my office and we'll make sure the trucks are riding the right routes. And go from there, so.
Good.
Yep, and the few I've got, I talked to Brian, right, and he already had under control.
Yeah, I mean, it's been good, it just, and I know, I hate to say that the unofficial detour is needed again a third time, but if they're kinda holding right now, you know, we get to the water truck and we get the pavement down and, I mean, we should get some moisture would help too, now it's been so dry, that's the hard part.
Right.
Yep.
I guess if you guys need anything, let me know, otherwise I got nothing else, so.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. I'll move to adjourn.
We are adjourned.